While a good form in Ligue 1 has continued as we've climbed into 4th place, which is Champions League football for next year should we hold on to it. However, in the Champions League, Porto currently has 8 points, ourselves and Bayer are on 7. It's one of those cases where if we win, we'll qualify. If we lose, we could miss out altogether. My name's FM19, and this is the Ritornu Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 73. And this is what our group stage looks like. We're playing Real Madrid. They can't catch us. They're going to finish last. If we tie, and Bayer ties, and Porto ties, I think Bayer goes ahead because they beat us. And you know what? We can check this out. Goal difference, goals scored, away goals scored, games won, away games won. So yeah, Bayer would go ahead of us because they beat us. Oh, sorry, dog hair in my eye. So, yeah, we need a win against a Madrid team that has not been at its best. And we need a draw between Porto and Bayer, to be honest with you. That would be great. That would mean Bayer would lose out, but still, that's what we need. Before we get to that, just a review of what's happened since we last saw each other. We were away at St. Etienne, and we won 3-0 thanks to goals by Zorzetto, Guzman Fernandez, and Geraldes had an extra time goal. It was well struck. I don't know that it was well earned. And then we were home against Havre. Came back to win this game. Foster a goal in the 37th minute, Bomb a goal in the 40th minute. This was a very rotated side because 3 days later, here we are playing Real Madrid. But the guys did really well. Let me show you them here. Over on the left, Ramirez was in goal. Flores, Cristiano, Miguel, and Magalhaes were the defensive back four. Gachakadiev, Komsiana, and Camp were the midfielders. Bamba was the winger, got his first goal for us. And then Frank was the advanced midfielder on our left, and Lyle Foster was the striker. He had a nice goal and a nice chance created that was really good. It was a well-rounded performance by us. 15 shots, 6 on targets, no clear-cut chances, 2 half chances. Kept the long shots down. Havre had possession advantage, but they really couldn't do anything with it. We did really good. The defense stepped up when they needed to. A couple fine performances by Bamba and Foster. It was nice to see the B team, as it were, do really well against a fairly good Havre team. Havre's mid-table, I want to say. Yeah, they're 11th. So, they're respectable. And as a result, we've climbed into a tie for 4th. We're ahead of Nantes on goal differential. Frank Solizos with 7 goals, Andres Solavia 7.25 rating, Armand and Andres both with 3 assists, Ponzo and Ronaldo Geraldes both with 3 players of the match. 25 yellow cards, really well. I want to get that down. I want to get our position in terms of yellow cards down to double digits. 28 goals are 6th highest, our 14 goals allowed are 13th best. Our defense has really stepped it up. And we have, there's a 10-point drop-off between 5th and 6th. And 6th is going to be a dogfight between Nice, Marseille, Metz, and possibly Bordeaux. Maybe Montpellier and Havre and maybe Lille can climb their way into it. But we got 5 teams competing for 4 spots. And Lyon is 5 points ahead of PSG, which is very nice to see. So, but then again, other than PSG, Lyon was the only other team to win Ligue 1 since we started the save. We're not worried about that right now. We are worried about Real Madrid and which team is going to show up. The team that's finished near the top of the league of the past few seasons, or the team that has yet to win a game this Champions League. So I'm going to check the best 11, set the reserves, and we're going to be back with our match against Real Madrid in just a bit. Well, not a lot of time between games, not a lot of practicing going on. The one thing that has happened is, due to international fixtures, Almeida is absolutely knackered, and he's been out on rest the past couple of weeks. I'll rest him for 5 days, bring him in for a game. As soon as the game's over, it's, hey, he needs a rest, even though he comes in at 100% match fitness and 100% health. So luckily I got Magalhaes there. He's not going to play defensive center back today unless I need him to. But for the moment, it is, now they're calling this a 4-1-4-1. Up. Ramirez in goal, Magalhaes, Ponzo, Cristiano, Flores is the defensive back four. Soldevilla behind Camp and Geraldes. Frank and Armand is the attacking midfielders, with Fernandez up top as the striker. I wonder if I should bring up the latest scores. Do that here real quick. Except they aren't playing. Yeah, they are. Portland Bayer. Bayer's ahead. That's half hour in, no highlights since the kickoff. We've got a couple yellow cards that have me slightly worried, but other than that, nothing going on. We've had 2 shots, none on target. They've had 2 shots, 1 on target. My assistant coach has suggested short balls. Now he's suggesting we can get long. So we'll see what happens. Angel for Real Madrid. Holds it up, sends it into space. Galamos has it. Splits the defender Ramirez with a nice block. Stayed on his line. Forced a hasty shot. Now, slightly awkward transition here. My phone rang just as a corner kick started. Fekir sends it into Palacios, who sends it back to Fekir. To Angel. Dispossessed by No, but it goes right to Diawara. Back to Fekir on the left. He holds it up to Rodrigo. Crosses it in, bounced away. Camp sends it forward towards Fernandez, who heads it back towards Real Madrid's goal, and the highlight ends. Fernandez with a penalty kick off the side post. Well, we go into the first half tied. 3 shots not on target. They're 5-2. We got to pick it up the second half. They're better than us in almost every area. And we're currently in second place because Bayer is beating Porto. Now, no highlights the second half so far. We're going to make a couple of changes. Flores is going to switch places with No. And then Bamba is going to come on and take the advanced midfielder on the right spot. Soldevilla is going to come off. Gajikadiev is going to come on. Fernandez from outside the box, off the post, No, and he scores. Well done, Armand. And of course I'm pulling him off. No, I'm not, because he went back to defensive right back. Okay, well done, Armand, following up on that. Keeper almost made another nice save. It's only his 2nd goal of the season. Gajikadiev just went off injured. I'll bring Komsiana on. And push him up to the midfield. As a deep line playmaker on defend. Which he plays really well as a midfielder, but can't play worth a lick as a defensive midfielder. That makes no sense, but things rarely do. Guard. Galemos taps it back to guard, crosses it in. Cola takes the shot, bounces it off a Bastia player. There's a penalty somewhere. Bayer still 2 ahead of Porto. Ponzo on the throw-in. Diawara steps in front of it, but goes right to Santi. Takes a long shot. God, you had 2 guys on your right that could have helped you out there. 10 minutes left. Ponzo. Up to Frank. Over to Camp. Sends it up to Magahalis. Crosses it in. Bamba. Oh, that was nice. Well done, boys. That was a great cross by Magahalis. Camp with a 1-touch pass. Crosses it in. Bamba's there. Off the volley. That was brilliant. And they're going to a 3-4-2-1. Okay. Navarro sends it forward to Gamelos. Misses it. Geraldus sends it over to Camp on the header, but he loses it. Cola picks it up, sends it back to Palacios, to Pavard, back to Cola. Drives forward to Gamelos. To Goebbels. Out to Cola on the right. Crosses it in. No, knocks it away. Bamba runs it down, sends it up to Fernandez. Breaking right, out to No on the right. Crosses it in. Camp, the top of the box to Frank. Navarro with a very nice block. Geraldus sends it in, knocked away, but Magahalis is going to... David. Magahalis. You can probably put that into Google Translate and figure out what that is. 5 minutes of extra time, winding down. Paslak on the throw-in. No, intercepts it, sends it up. Palacios is going to run it down to guard. Ooh, it looked like it was going in, but it was too high. Whistle should be blowing here, and it does. And I believe we finished in second because Bayer beat Porto. Bayer did beat Porto 3-1. We qualify for the first knockout round. Well done. 4 to 7 weeks for Gajikayev. Okay. Received 2.7 million euros for the win. We'll go to the group stage here. Bayern and ourselves finished on 10 points. But because we drew with them and we lost to them, they finished on top and we qualified. Okay. Yeah, the 2-0 victories against Porto and Real Madrid saw us through. We actually got the draw for the knockout round. I thought it happened before the Monaco game. I guess not. Happens after the Monaco game. So you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to forward ahead to the Monaco game and then do the draw afterwards and call this an episode. So back with the game at Monaco in just a bit. Well, just a couple of changes in the starting 11 with Gajikayev out. Soldevilla is the starter defensive midfield. I'm giving Ponzo a break. I realized it's been a while since he's just sat out a game and not had to do anything. So Zorzetto moves over to his spot while Cristiano stays at the right side of the center. So Ramirez in goal, Amiet, Zorzetto, Cristiano Flores is the defensive back four. Soldevilla is the defensive midfielder behind Camp and Heraldes. Frank and Armand up top as the attacking midfielders, and Fernandez as the striker. So Monaco's 6 points ahead of us. Winning would put us that much closer to them, but they've got a very good team still. Heraldes out to Flores on the right, crosses it in, knocked down by Bednarek and out. That was an early opportunity for us. Corner kick in. Heraldes sends it in. Cristiano's going to hopefully run that down on the highlight ends. That was annoying. Okay. Chases back to shots here. Bednarek sends it up to Cammy, to Golovin, drives right, out to Thiem, cuts back inside, out to DeWall, all alone on the right, crosses it in, Pellegri's there, stopped once, but he gets it back, puts it far post. Something tells me Ramirez dived for it and couldn't get up fast enough to block the second shot. So let's see what happens here. I was 100% wrong there. Ramirez probably should have had that the second time around. Ramirez sends it forward towards Fernandez. It's knocked down. Heraldes back up to Fernandez. Tries feeding it to No, but it's intercepted. Cristiano gets the long pass back, though. Shadowed by a Monaco player. Ramirez has it, sends it forward towards Frank. He heads it forward, but no one from Bastia's there. Thiem has it, sends it to Tielemans, up to Pellegrini, who's dispossessed by Camp, back to Almeida. Long pass towards Fernandez, who heads it forward to no one in particular again. Bednarek gets it back, sends it to Golovin, back to Bednarek, over to Vallejo. Out to Thiem on the right. Cuts inside, crosses it, Pellegrini's there. 6 Bastia players around him. That was interesting. Pellegrini was left-footed, so he waited for the ball to go past his right foot and then drew it back and then kicked it. It's not like we haven't had our chances. We had 7 shots, 2 on target, but they've been much better from a technical point of view. Almeida on the throw-in to Soldevilla. Back to Almeida. Sends it in. Knocked away. Cammy runs it down from Monaco. Drives forward. Centers it to Rocha, who tries tapping it over Ramirez, but it was a very weak effort. Ramirez had no problems handling that. He sends it forward to no one in particular. Caesar has it. Over to Golovin. Back to Caesar. Back to Golovin. Up to Tielemans. Over to Thiem. Cuts inside again. Takes a shot that was ill-advised, to say the least. Coming up on the half, it's been all Monaco. 14 shots, 8 on target this first half, to our 7-2. Geraldes sends it in. Knops leaps up and grabs the ball out of the air. He sends it forward to no one in particular. Camp has it, loses it. Teal. And the FM19 match engine raises its ugly head again. Why Kemp did not get that, I don't know. Halftime. 3-0, thanks to two really good Pietro Pellegrini goals and a really crappy Tillman's goal. Vallejo on the throw-in. Thiem loses it. Almeida sends it up, but Thiem intercepts over to Pellegrini. Cuts inside. Kami's there. Takes a shot off the crossbar. Flores knocks it away. Golovin gives it back to Tielmans. Back to Golovin. Over to Tielmans. All the way back to Bednarik. George just decided to eat in the background. I can't really stop recording at this point because of all that is going on. Dodged a bullet there. Kemp with the ball. Brings it forward. All the way across the field to No. Taps it up, but Golovin intercepts it. That was... Fernandez to Frank. Oh, and Knops with a nice save. A little bit before 60 minutes, we're going to make a couple changes. Magalhaes is going to come on for Almeida. Bamba is going to come on for No. Knopp sends it forward. Flores runs it down. Long pass towards no one in a Bastia uniform. Bednarik has it back to Knops. Tielmans to Vallejo. To Golovin. Back to Kami. Taps it up to Rocha. Takes the shot. Ramirez, nice block. It goes right back to Rocha, who scores. This is just, they're making us look like we're a national team. It's just ridiculous. 21 shots they've had, 13 on target, 2 clear-cut chances, 5 half chances. Tielmans, long kick in, knocked away. Howland is going to get that before it goes out of bounds. Sends it back to Tielmans. He crosses it in, so Zetto knocks away. Cece has it back to Tielmans. Crosses it in again, knocked away. Golovin has it. Out to Vanderwall on the left. He crosses it in. Cristiano knocks it away. Golovin gets it back. Over to Tielmans. Back to Golovin. All the way back to Vallejo. To Tielmans. Out to Cece. Sends it in. Kami's there. 5 goals. This is easily the worst game we've played this season. About 10 minutes left. We're going to get Camp off, bring on Santi, and switch him with Geraldes. The lowest score on their team is a 7-5, and that's Knops. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 9 if you count Thiem, who went off. Players in 8+ or better. Or 7 or better. Magalhaes sends it in, knocked away by Bednarik. Soldevilla. Santi. Long shot. Curls it over the crossbar. Holy cow. That was embarrassing. Humiliation indeed. And again, I played Almeida after he had a week's worth of rest. He needs another week's worth of rest. Now, we're going to forward ahead to see who we're playing in the next round of the Champions League. And then we're going to call it an episode. We're playing Nantes next in the Kuda League game, and I'm not really interested in showing that. It's the Kuda League. I mean, if we get to the semifinals or the finals or something like that, I'll start showing those, but... Okay. Some good teams left, so... let's get this started. European Champions Cup. And this is the first knockout round draw. So Man City against Marseille. Valencia versus PSG. Man United versus Bayern. Napoli versus Liverpool. Lyon versus Atletico Madrid. Inter versus Tottenham. Juventus versus OGC Nice. We are playing Sporting. Anybody I recognize? Felix Correa is a name that sounds familiar, but no photo. Dmitry Popov. That sounds familiar too, but nope, definitely Regen. We'll come back for the Nimes game. Next episode is going to be a short episode. Nimes, and then probably what I'm going to try and do in the January transfer window, because I'm really going to sit down and look at that before that starts. And then we will run through the January transfer window, come back for the first game at Sporting, and probably Troyes. And then after that, do Nantes and Sporting. So, man, that was a humiliating loss against Monaco. I don't know what to say. It's been a while since we've been thumped like that. And Monaco's a good team. I thought we were almost as good as them, but obviously not, especially if they're thumping us like that. So our win streak comes to an end, crashingly so. I'm more upset we couldn't get a single goal against them than anything else. But man, we'll have to see if we bounce back from that. Well, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name's FM19. I thank you for watching Ritornu with Bastia, episode 73.